Hello everyone. Welcome to another Eugene, where Eugene is viewing stuff. Of course, it's going to be one of the drum review videos. This is episode number 28 of Public Drum Shaming by Eugene R, where R stands for not Ryabchenko, but barbecue roasting. Of course. Finally. Today we're going to be taking a look at these 10 reckless, brave, and unlucky participants of batch number 28 who decided to doom their fate and submit their videos. If you're new to this series and haven't participated yet and would like to participate, please make sure that you watch the video on rules of submission before sending me your stuff in order to avoid any chaos and confusion. Thank you very much. To anybody who feels generous enough, you can always become either my patron or a member of my YouTube channel in order to support me morally and, more importantly, financially during these dark and uncertain times. Any help and support is always appreciated and welcome. Before jumping into the very first submission, I'm gonna just review my previous review. I'm in a little bit of a tricky and interesting situation because right now it's still September as I'm filming this, and you are watching this most likely in November. If you are actually a member of my YouTube channel or Patreon, you're watching maybe even on 1st of November. On 1st of November, I'm actually flying from Japan to Mexico on a tour with Flash God Apocalypse that hasn't even been announced as of now in September. So future Eugene now is flying across the Pacific Ocean, and right now you're watching past September Eugene. We live in crazy times. And last time I was doing my review in October, which was also is filmed right now in September, I was having my infamous salted caramel gelato. And unfortunately, this time we have a rather miserable meal, which is yesterday's microwaved pizza. It's, guess what? I know that I'm gonna get some hate for this, but this is, some Hawaii pineapple stuff from Domino's. So as some pizza experts, they consider this quite an abomination. But obviously don't worry, I got my Tabasco sauce in order to make life much better. And also my Coke. Zero sugar, don't worry guys. So yeah, you know, life is not always ice cream. Sometimes it's ice cream and pizza, and you don't get to enjoy life every day to its fullest. I eat this pizza only because of you so that I can enjoy the ice cream more next time, okay? Let's just leave it at that. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am giving myself the Most Delicious Pizza Award. Without any further chit-chat, let's jump in right into the first video, which is going to be submission number 1 from Mr. This one is Marlon Makela. I think there's like 2 umlauts, Blade of Makela. And this one is Code Eternal Regeneration. Oh yeah, Dream Theater vibes. This looks like a drum school, sort of. He's right-handed, but he's leading with the left hand. Yeah, stick flip. Ah, yes, I think he realized that he messed up. Yeah, and he realized that I realized. Young guy. Please, Mr. Marlon, tell me how old are you? I'm curious. You're either young or just taking care of yourself very well. I hope the former. and the latter as well. Raw carton box style of mix. But the snare sounds very good. Just the kick. The kick is a little bit without too much of the chick that I miss. The rim shots are cool. I'm not sure if that's rim shot, but it sounds rim shotty and it's beautiful. Cool. Overall, like very pleasant drumming. The kick, way too muffled. And the guitar solos are so loud. But my chewing is even louder. Educated kind of drumming. So like that, I am just assuming that maybe you were taking classes, had a teacher Cool. Lots of stuff to memorize, but I assume that he's watching. There's this stuff here on the left. Down here. You don't see it, of course, but I see it. It's like either scores or some like a tablet or some MIDI. Like a cheat sheet. Ah, yeah, the kick. I'm missing the kick. It's so like in the background. Very nice, very nice. I'm gonna give you extra points for being young. How many points I'm gonna give you depends on the age. Thank you very, very, very much for this submission. The good stuff. Yes, you are young. That's very cool that you're able to pull off this kind of stuff already at that kind of age. This is technical stuff. This is fancy, complex, odd time signatures, weird time signatures. A lot of stuff to memorize, you know, a lot of kind of Portnoy style of drumming. Also good dynamics. It was nice and precise. Didn't seem like you were super like lost or didn't know what to do, so it was cool. Love the snare drum sound, love the tom sound. Let's move on. The bad stuff. The kick is the only thing that I was really missing. I wish that it could be like much louder and cutting through. Overall, that's one thing. Technique, I don't think I would bash you too much for any kind of like flaws that I felt a little bit the lack of presence, a lack of energy. You were focusing a lot on the drum parts, and you know, I always kind of try to say this, that when you're recording, try to memorize and learn the parts as much as you can so that you are you're not thinking too much, like all your energy and effort is not directed into memorizing the parts and making sure that, did I get this right? That was a crash. I mean, who cares? Like, you did a crash, okay, you did a China and it was supposed to be a crash. I mean, not the end of the world, but like when I need to feel the energy and not the right symbol, you know. And I'm actually like, it's a very personal thing because I fight a lot of musicians with this, especially musicians that I work with, you know. I said like, hey, the presence, the performance, the energy, all that stuff is more important than if I hit the right symbol or not, because nobody's gonna know that. So, but overall, this was nice. So. And in the end, the production as well, like better video, better audio is something that you could always like improve and work on. Okay, so fancy cameras, and so on. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue. This is entry number 2 from Mr. Sayan, and the burning question is he gonna become Super Saiyan? This is Natural Born Killer drum cover by Avenged Sevenfold. Oh, glasses. Oh, special effects. What kind of equipment did he use to record the sound? Sounds super cool, and I see no mics. Okay. Is this the Yamaha EAD 10, whatever it's called? I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of it. Okay, so please, Mr. Sayan, talk to me and let me know, how did you record? Is this the real, the El Estepario style one microphone, that thing? Okay, so the Yamaha stuff here, we see it. If it is, like, man, I love the sound. It's super acoustic. It's like the future of TikTok drum videos, audio equipment starter pack. 1 foot traditional blast. Very good, very good. This is super honest. I love it. The only thing that I don't like already from the very beginning is like, it's a little bit too much shadowy. It's a bit too much New Jersey. Elephant Cemetery. Good dynamics on the snare. The eighth note kicks. I would so play it with 1 foot, just so that I can put more struggle into the drumming. Seems a bit too chill. Okay, there's one thing that I want to check. Let's go again. Aha! Mr. Sayan, can you explain? It seems like it's kicks and cymbals, yet he's playing the snare. Can we assume that it was multiple takes and he used the audio from one take and the video was from a different take where he played a different thing? Busted. Okay, sorry, I had to be a dick a little bit because you're a good drummer, so you know I need to be harsh. No, the audio does not match the video. I'm sorry, but I had to point it out. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, the good stuff. Great, precise. You know your stuff, you know your rolls, the 2/2s, 4/2s, good dynamics on the snare, good kick patterns overall. Like, that was nice, that was nice. I like the overall actually sound is so cool with this, is that this Yamaha thing? Please let me know, or maybe it's not the Yamaha thing, but talk to me a little bit about the way that you recorded the audio, because it was super cool. It's like, you know, like a one mic thing, but still good balance and quality, so nice compression. The bad stuff? Like, I would prefer you to bash a little bit harder because this is kind of slow music. I think, you know, you were a little bit too relaxed and holding back. Never hold back, okay? So play like it's the last gig of your life. I mean, rock and roll, no? Are we talking about rock and roll or what? So that's one thing. Second thing, the audio video, okay, the audio we already talked about it, but the video a little bit too dark. I would prefer to, you know, have a bit decent lights. That definitely, that's like, I'm not saying that was wrong, but I'm saying that this is maybe something to aim for in the future. The cuts of the videos were a little bit like crazy and spontaneous, but like once again, the cuts. Now we are at the main problem, which is the parts. So I assumed, I hope I'm not wrong, but I assumed that I saw a few drum parts, the audio of which didn't match the video. Trust me, I am the biggest cheater and editor there is as an extreme drummer on this planet. Okay, maybe not the biggest, but I'm openly a big one, okay? So I openly admit that I edit a lot of my stuff, and I'm just gonna give you a few tips in case you care. So when you happen to have the situation that you record the audio once with one take, and then you have videos of like 3, 4, 5 different takes, and then you sometimes hit a different crash, do a different drum roll. So what I would recommend you to do is you record the audio every time. And if you are skilled and smart enough to cut it and piece it with different audios from different videos together, then make sure you do that so that the video matches the audio. Worst case scenario, you need to always pay attention that if you messed something up, I always when I fix things, when I glue tracks from maybe different takes, I almost never do it because it's very inconvenient to have like a different take that the sound doesn't match, because I cannot guarantee that I'll perform the parts exactly the same way 5 times in a row. I did that when I was like 10 years ago when I started doing my drum covers. If you watch any of my very, very first drum covers, like the Morbid Angel, the Behemoth, some of the Meshuggah stuff, I had one camera, one shot. I memorized each single hit that I did precisely. I recorded the audio, and then 5 times I did the video again with all the hits. If I had a hit wrong, I had to re-record the whole thing. So it's a pain in the ass, I know. But if you do it that way, then when you finish cutting the video, I always rewatch my own video in like slow motion, half time. I half slow motion, half time the audio, the new audio that's already fixed, and the video, and I just watch carefully and I check, okay, that hit, did I make all the hits right? Okay, was that a crash? Was that a snare roll? And like this, so that like, you know, and I think I had a few videos that I posted in the past that somebody pointed out that there was an extra snare hit or a snare hit that I missed. I don't remember, but basically it happened because I was careless. You know, I do a lot of content, I do a lot of videos, and I don't properly like have the time to do it, you know, so, and sometimes this happens and I'm like, yeah, well, whatever, you know. So I'm just letting you know that this is like one way to do it. If you wanna cheat a little bit like I do, then you have one audio and different videos with different parts, so make sure that you pay attention to that and slow it down and fix what needs to be fixed. Otherwise you're gonna have this. And trust me, like, I'm a nice guy, I am not gonna destroy anybody, but this world is full of hatred and bad people, and they might ruin your day by saying that you're a cheater because the audio doesn't match, whatever. Okay, so we're here to become better and educate each other. So other than that, thank you very much. This was super cool. We move on. Okay, guys, this is submission number 3 from Mr. Lenart. And this is Bloodbath. Process of disillumination. You don't see it, but this is a high FPS video, so like 48 or 60, and once again I'm gonna go back to this and say I don't personally recommend to use high frame rate for YouTube videos because it's the movement is way too smooth. If you cheat, fix, and edit, I hope I'm not the only one who does that, then it's very much harder to hide it that you fixed your drumming. So, you know, and this Argentina soap opera style super smooth movement maybe not very necessary for drum videos, but who am I to judge? I have no taste. On the snare, Madonna. A shotgun. Good rolls, 2 over 2s. Давай, 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 a little bit harder. You can hit harder. Not a huge fan of these, like... It's also a little bit dark. I love the overhead shot. The overhead shot looks like an asylum. We're all mad here, bro. It's good. It's okay. Boom, boom. How does he get out of that drum kit? I assume he lives there, but he's trapped there forever, but is that a problem? Oh, yeah. Very good. Wow, cool. Good blast. Vader. Tatu, 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 ta. Okay, good. The reason I'm doing this because I wanted to check if he's playing ta 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 8th notes, or it seemed to me that it was slower, but it was fast. It was good and fast. Very good. So you have passed the half tempo skank beat ride cymbal drug test that Craig Reynolds would do or something like this. Awesome, super cool. Let's talk the good stuff. Very good. You know your stuff, you know your roles, you know your things. The stuff that you played, you definitely seem to understand the mechanics behind these kind of drum rolls, drum patterns. Everything seems to be fine there. Good sounding snare drum, love it. The shotgun kind of thing, you know, and overall the kit. The toms were a little bit kind of like, I don't know, not really weak, but not cutting through when you do like a fast roll. There will like just there somewhere, but not the tick trigger sound. But matter of taste, you know, I'm eating pineapple pizza, so of course, who am I to say? It was cool. Love the overhead view. That was awesome. Let's talk about the bad stuff. I'm not that much, to be honest. Like, I wish there was a little bit more juice, more anger. It seems like you were also chill a little bit, not playing like it was the last day of your life, but overall this is understandable. I don't know. You can always work on, you know, improving the sound, the video and whatnot, although you have a fancy looking place, but still, you know. I hope you're gonna move to a bigger one so that you have a bit more room to breathe. So other than that, it was cool. Thank you very much for your submission. Alright, boys and girls, this is entry number 4 from Mr. This is Mattia Quintarelli. So, like, you know what? I'm not gonna even shame myself. I think I pronounced it okay. It's something like Italian, Spanish. This is Meshuggah. New Millennium Cyanide Cross. Yes, hell yes, I love that song. I thought this track wouldn't be that hard, but then I found out how Thomas actually played with his feet, and oh boy, it was a nightmare. Of course, Thomas's drumming is a nightmare for everybody who's not Thomas. Ah, what a shirt he's got. Some waifu shirt. Yeah, I can tell the struggle on his face and in his drumming. Yeah, this pattern is a pain in the ass. This one is relatively an easy part. The snare sounds beautiful, love it. When it comes to pushing down and keeping the beater on the head, this kind of drumming, with Meshuggah, with Fear Factory, and all kind of like stop and go fast bursts, which is like a wouldn't that be more practical and easier to do actually with always keeping the beater on the head? I always had the feeling that it would, especially with triggers. But I don't know. You seem to be doing alright, you know, like your drumming is not perfectly quantized and perfect, but like who cares about that because it's, in my opinion, precise enough. So I don't know how much did you add it, maybe you didn't add it at all. And if you didn't, then it's super cool and precise. So I always just was confused that you had the beater coming back and you need to prepare before you fire and you have short gaps with these kick patterns. It's crazy tough. Just my 5 cents. Let me know what you think. And he's putting those ghost notes in there. Fuck that, you know, like as if this song was not a pain in the ass already without them. Okay, and then he sometimes does it starts with the left foot. No. Somebody tells me that Eugene, you need to play it this way. I'll be like, you know what? I'm just gonna go away and quit. Good. Good. I love the anger, love the energy. I actually have no problem with the energy here. I should, but I don't. Because there's just like too much calculating, you know, and numbers. The best part. I love this one. We always sing it with my brother when we're bored. Sorry, this is the Coke. Please tell me, this very ending, is this how they play it live? I'm not sure, but I think I recall, because the original song fades out, and live they do this stop there in the end, and they stop it like this. Bro, let's talk. The good stuff? Meshuggah, of course. You have, now you have PhD in math. So, congratulations, this is always tough for me, like, you know, Meshuggah, every time that I have to do Meshuggah, I did a few Meshuggah songs in my life, every time I have to dedicate at least a week or two of just, like, hardcore learning and practicing that song, and after a while, I'm like, I don't want to live, you know, so, like, where's the fun in that? But once, I think you should probably know, and everybody else who attempts this kind of stuff, like, once you learn the song, it's so much fun to play because all those numbers and coordination and independence stays in the muscle memory, and then it's awesome. So, love the snare drum, love the ghost notes, love the left foot hi-hat work, and everything was like there. Very, very admirable, super cool. So, you know what? They don't award the Nobel Prize for math, but the Eugene Award goes for math, don't worry. So that was super cool, very good. Let's talk about the bad stuff. Well, listen, you know, the energy technique, I already mentioned the kick drum, the beater thing, but I don't think it's a flaw if it works for you. Then I'm just gonna criticize you just a little bit for the production, that, you know, you could do a fancier looking video. Fancy camera, fancy audio, fancy lights. That's the only thing, because your technique is there, you know your stuff much better than I do, so that's all. You know, make sure that you improve on the visuals, invest into the visuals and audio, because it's very, very important. Congratulations, and let's move on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for entry, and this one is gonna be from Mr. Andy Vincent, who I happened to know in person. Met him this year earlier on tour in the States, and let me just tell you, like, this is gonna be a little bit of a biased thing, because I am aware of Andy's playing and what he did and like what he has achieved. I watched him. I consider myself lucky enough to witness a bit of his drumming journey over the... Andy, please tell me, how long was it? Like a year, 2 years, something like this? Maybe 2-3 years? I don't remember. Like something like this. Let's assume something between a year and 2-3. And regarding his hand technique, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be witnessing sort of a local Marco Petrusella guy with like most likely super high tuned snare and fast blasts. Very good finger technique. Super impressive stuff. Speeds that I long have lost during my 2016-17 Vital Remains days, and that somehow Andy retrieved, maybe from me, maybe from his own practice, but he's a very hard worker, so I know that he's practicing a lot, so we are in for a treat. Let's watch and let's enjoy Gorgasm Corpse Fiend drum playthrough. Ah, love this artwork. There we go. Kick drum. I wish I could hear the kick drum a little bit better. Blasts are good, chill, super chill and nice. If that's a hammer blast with the kicks in unison with the snare, it's alright. One thing that I'm not a huge fan of is the hi-hat tapping on top, like with the fingers on top. Yes, it has good rebound. It sounds James Payne blasted like James does. I am not sure about the snare falling on the kicks or between the kicks. Sometimes it's tricky. And this is an important thing to make sure that you are able to control and understand. I'll be very harsh on Andy since I know him, so I'm just gonna say that, Andy, you're lucky that we don't hear the kicks. The kicks are very conveniently hidden behind the song itself and the noise, so you owe me some louder kicks in the future. Hands are good, you know, but I don't have, never doubted that. Super chill, very good chill. You know, with these tempos, nobody would require you to go more Casagrande Sepultura style. Oh yes, hell yes. Crazy. What is this, like 240, 250-ish? If it's with a click, maybe it's not even with a click. I don't know. Bam. Thank you very much for this submission, Andy. Okay, so the good stuff, well, of course, as I assumed, great finger technique, great blasting. This was what I expected, so that was very cool. Super chill and super relaxed, which is very important for this kind of music. You know what I said, don't push yourself too much. Your priority is endurance to survive in a one-take go, because let's say that you would assume to perform this kind of music live. Also, from what I understand, this is like a one take from beginning till the end, so that's also even more important for this kind of extreme drumming, because everybody's a hero if you just have to do one bar of 300 BPM blast. Everybody can do it. But can you do the entire song in one go? This was good. You have passed the one take test. The bad stuff? Probably the bigger problem is the blast, for me, at least, but we have talked about this in the past, you know that. Regarding, I'm just gonna say this for everybody else, regarding hammer blast, traditional blast, you need to make sure that you understand the difference between them. You need to make sure that you hear the difference. You need to make sure that when you play them, you know exactly which one you play. The faster it gets, the tougher it is to pull off a proper traditional blast or even a proper hammer blast, you know, like just like synchronizing the kicks with the snares or having them always in between. Those are challenging things, but like that's what makes extreme death metal drumming extreme, because when it gets super fast, you know, above 250, you know, that's where the good drummers shine, and the bad drummers, they're chaos and mud. Okay, I'm not saying that you were that, but I am sensing a bit of an issue there. I feel like, please pay extra attention to this, only because I know that you are like a 300 BPM guy, you know, and if you have troubles at 250 with traditional and hammer blast, then at 300 BPM you're definitely gonna have even bigger problems, okay? Because the faster it gets, the harder it is to keep it clean. Better cleaner and slower than faster and sloppier. You know this. Being able to do 300 BPM as an excuse to be sloppy is like not a good excuse, you know, like, oh, because you can say, oh yeah, but it's 300 BPM, so of course it's sloppy. No, but yeah, trust me, like in modern era metal drumming, you need to be a machine. You are already a machine. You're a great machine, but much better machine than Eugene the Machine, but still, you know, keep this in mind. This is a priority. And the kicks, okay, you know, like you got away with this time, young man, but next time I hope to hear more kicks. Because like, that's the thing, you know, you can hide, like the good thing about our music is that we can hide behind the noise. You know, while you miss one hit, nobody's gonna see that. But I wanna hear those missed hits, so. And just work on improving overall production, you know, like fancy looks, fancy audio. That's like just a goal investment. But thank you very much. You're awesome and I love you very much. So I hope to see you soon, maybe this year, maybe next year, probably next year or the year after. Well, take care. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, this is submission from another friend of mine, Mr. Lee Diamond. Okay, so this is basically another, a bit of a spoiler. This is kind of a rock punk stuff with most likely not rock punk drum parts, okay? This is Super Chunk, What a Time to Be Alive drum covered, and it's a metal. You know, Lee, tell me please, how do you pronounce this, okay? Metal drum cover by an appropriate drummer, okay? So, we are expecting some double bass, probably, maybe even blast beats. Let's see. I know, yes, Lee is mentioning that he had a few surgeries. He had some issues with his hand and foot, so it's tough. I am also, like, I was part of this recovery journey and, you know, helping hopefully get him back on track with his drumming, so it's very, very admirable, and I'm super happy to see that Lee is putting a lot of effort into it. He's a very, very hardworking guy, once again. Let's see. Yeah. Let's go, let's go. Alright, here I'm gonna start again with the frame rate, Lee. This is 60 frames per second. I thought we talked about this. Yes. Super cheerful music. Hell yeah. There we go, double bass. That was inappropriate. Okay, this angle is 60 frames per second. The other ones are not, okay? And if everything is 60 FPS, okay, we go full Argentinian soap opera. But if you have one 60 FPS and the others are not 60 FPS, it's weird. It seems like you're watching two different movies at the same time. Don't recommend it. Yeah, sometimes the anger is there. And sometimes I miss it. This angle seems a little bit too raw for me in terms of color correction in comparison to others. I would personally prefer to push and stay on the pedals and on the bass drum even a bit harder. You seem to be floating and not pushing into too much. Dangerous for these kind of patterns. This is still like Fear Factory style. Did you hear a tom roll? What was that? Okay, you know what? I might take back what I said regarding that fake roll. I hear probably a lot of the original drums that don't match what you play. So now I'm kind of thinking if those were... that tom roll was from the original drum parts. If yes, then... damn it. It's always hard because if you don't match it, then it's weird. Yeah, you hear the original parts are and he's just playing tu-tu-ta-tu. You see that what he plays is what sounds, what we hear, but the original drum parts are in the way. Now I'm super furious because of this. Left-handed bomb blast is my enemy. That's why I avoid it like fire. Jesus, is so saturated with different drum parts. Nice, fade out. Okay, do you see this? Blast beat? What's this? I see like a blast beat, but the sound is not there's so much confusion, so much mess going on here. Thank you very much for the submission, the good stuff. Okay, well, so I love the sound of the drum kit. The sound of the drum kit is very nice. I know that you have very fancy drums and whatnot. It's a very cool, like, old school rock and roll punk mix. Very not metal mix, to be honest. Like, the drum parts are more metal for sure, but the mix is even less metal, okay? So, super complex, super overpacked, saturated with a lot of different things, which is like crazy to memorize in my opinion, but here is what's up, and let's go to the bad stuff because there's a lot of stuff that I want to say. Okay, so first of all, the overlapping drum parts. I understand if you put metal drum parts on top of a song that doesn't have them, and the issue is if the original song is very, very loud, the non-metal drum parts are gonna cut through, and then it's gonna overall just destroy the quality of the video, kind of making you sound weird and sloppy because of all this mud of overlapping drum parts. You know, like when you are changing the drum parts, they need to be changed in such way that they would mask the original drum parts in a clever way, or like you would have the original song very quiet, and then you're not gonna hear. The drums are a tricky instrument because, like, in order for you, when you're changing drum parts and you have like the drums are cutting through, it's like short attack hits. One hit doesn't match, you hear it even if the song is very quiet, okay? With the guitar, it's probably not like that, I don't know, because the guitar is just noise, yeah. Sorry for the guitar players, but with drums it's a little bit tricky. You know what you could actually try to do? This is a big announcement to everybody else. You should try to maybe find a way to eliminate drums from the original song. And there's a thing that I've been actually using. This is not an advertisement, at least not at the moment. There's a software called Moises AI, like Moises, like the Christian Moises guy. And it's actually, I think, a Brazilian software, which like you have some kind of a super cheap, relatively cheap paid subscription, and you can throw in a song in there, and then it tries to analyze it and break it down into track by track, and you can have the vocals, guitars, bass, and drums, whatever, separately, and then you can remove the drums from there. And the result, of course, is not perfect. You hear that there's some underwater thing going on because it cannot easily completely remove the drums so perfectly. But I tried it a few times and it's very not bad, okay? It's very decent. And you put your drums into the drumless track of that and it's gonna be very good, okay? Because you're gonna still preserve like 80% of the original song, more or less, okay? Not completely destroyed, and have your drums on top clean. Your drums are gonna be clean, put on top of a track without drums, which is gonna make it overall sound clean. So this is a suggestion that I give you, I give Andy before, and that's it. Secondly, another harsh thing that I'll be brutal about is the overall memorizing parts and interacting with the camera, interacting with reading the sheets, the MIDI. We have talked about this before in the past regarding like you have to try to memorize the parts to such a degree that you don't get distracted by thinking about it. Thinking about them is already a distraction, but you can hide it a little bit better. But watching and reading the parts while you're playing, like, if you're playing in an orchestra, it's fine. You know, when you're playing a drum cover, when you're trying to entertain the audience, in my opinion, it's kind of a big of a deal breaker because you're still an artist, actor, performer. At least I see it this way, you know, and yes, I know that I'm guilty of this as well when I have to learn a song like in 3 hours and then go and record and film it immediately. And then I look like super overwhelmed as if I'm like passing a math test in school and I have only like 20 minutes left, you know, something like this. Of course, I do understand it. And like another issue that I have with the drum parts that you compose for this kind of music is that sometimes less is more. And I'm not saying from a music point of view, I'm not saying like, oh, you didn't need to ruin the song with those blast beats. Okay, that's absolutely fine, ruin it, that's cool, I'm supporting that. What you ruined a little bit with all these overcomplicated parts is the overall like attention and energy that you are spending during this video shoot, that you have to think like, oh, there's like and this and that and this and that, and then like, okay, like, is that worth really, like, was it really worth it, you know? So that's why, you know, try to, in my opinion, try to go a little bit for more simple things, but play it with more confidence. And, you know, like, you can spend, of course, like, a whole year just practicing and learning all these drum parts till perfection, but then you're gonna be putting out one video per year, and which, in my opinion, also is not worth it, you know? I'd rather put more simple stuff and more often, at least, you know, because like it's tough, it's super tough to do super complicated stuff. You put it out once a year and you get like 1,000 views maybe, you know, and then like whatnot, you spend another year. Just my personal 50 cents. And as you can see, the phone is gone. I'm using my phone for the camera, and I think the phone has overheated, so we need to take a break, ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and then we're gonna be back. I'm gonna put my phone in the freezer, as always, to chill it down. So thank you very much, Lee. This was cool. I'm gonna give you the well done, appreciation, and that's it. We move on. Hell yeah, I am back. The phone is alive once again, so we continue from here. This is going to be submission from Mr. Toivo Ukkonen, which sounds a bit Finnish, which is not a problem. The biggest problem here is, as you can see, he is not available because it's private. So, Mr. Toivo Ukkonen, please get in touch with me if you would like to be featured in the future. I'm gonna reschedule you to the next episode. Hopefully you're gonna send me a working link till then. If not, not a problem, but you're not gonna be mentioned in the future. So, therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on. And this is gonna be the real submission from Mr. Michal Stetina. How do I pronounce that? I don't know how do I pronounce this. Okay, but this is, guess what? A Laurent Masure drum cover. Soulless Existence. Probably the fastest song. Well, Laurent Masure is challenging. No, it's 7.5 minutes. Okay, well, let's watch. Let's hope my phone doesn't die again. Ah, shirtless video. I approve. Oh, yes, and he's taking his pre-workout protein bar, whatever that is. Smear girl vocals. This decapitated angle, I don't like it. You know, we already got a minus point for that. Sorry. Face is important. This is good. Okay. Super heel up. Triplet. Wow, insane molar on the right hand on the snare. Blast. Yeah, traditional blast is good. Precise. Bomb blast is good. Bit hard to hear the kicks, but from his shirtless look and long straight hair, I'm getting Bryce Butler vibes. What tempo is this? Around 200-ish? Does seem like it. Okay, the kicks. So I'm here to point out one very harsh reality. This does seem like it's supposed to be 16th note kicks at this tempo, which is 200-ish. I don't think you play that. I think you play some triplet stuff, which is between triplets and 16th note kicks. So like your kick game is a little bit behind. It looks and sounds like triplets. Yes, the energy is there. The abs are there. It's also good. The snare sounds very cool on this blast. It's like soft, but as soft as one would expect it from being in a blast beat. I'm gonna tell you that probably one of the reasons you might struggle in the future of pushing faster and faster with single strokes with this high heel, because once you raise your heel like this, your ankle is not able to move too much. And that's gonna limit your speed for heel up single strokes. And you will be forced to push from the upper leg full like movement, which is gonna physically limit you eventually. Very good. It's a good balance of power and speed. You know, like he's relaxed enough, but at the same time he's pushing when he feels like he can push. Good, 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 good. Just keep in mind that when you'll have to go the real Laurent Masure speeds, you'll have to sacrifice the power. Austin is a very chill guy if you watch him play. Is this some extra content that we're not supposed to have? Yeah, it seems like it because it's the end. Super cool. That ending was actually so cool. Usually I'm against those kind of things, but I'm gonna give you credit for that. Thank you very much. Let's talk. Good stuff. All the good things that I already pointed out. Yeah, very nice, very nice, very nice. I did enjoy it. Like, overall, cool. I see a lot of potential in you. Hopefully, in the like next few years, you're gonna super kick everybody's ass. Seems like it. The bad stuff. The audio production, like, you know, the issue that I would probably have with your specifically with your video is the overlapping drum parts of the original song and yours. When it doesn't match, sometimes it's weird. And then, you know, well, I talked about this in the previous submissions, even in this batch, so that's just one thing. Otherwise, like the kicks are a bigger problem. And make sure that you understand playing off the grid, not playing a specific desired subdivision, which in your case, I assume it's supposed to be 16th notes, but it doesn't seem like you're doing that. So that's gonna be a problem in the future, especially in studio. Live, you can maybe get away with that a bit easier, especially if it's all like chaos and noise, but this is something a lot of drummers actually struggle with, and if you can fix it, if you prioritize precise, controlled, well, let's say accurately defined amount of strokes in a double bass section over speed and ego, then you're a good live performing drummer. Right. That's all. Other than that, well done. Let's continue. Okay, boys and girls, this is submission number 8 from Mr. Alexi. And I am once again an idiot because it's an Instagram video and I forgot how to make it full screen. Or at least I am not sure if it's still possible. I'm gonna just zoom in. Is that gonna work? Oh, bravo. Because if I do this, maybe... yeah, I remember at one point I was able to do it and not anymore. Okay, so this is cleanest transition I've ever done. Ha ha ha. That's what's the video called. Let's see. Okay, give me a second. Seems a bit distorted, or something wrong. Okay, it seems to be like full lag with heels a little bit down too much. Ah, it's a very short video. Let's watch it again. Okay, disco beat. Simple, chill. Okay, pay attention that he's doing digga 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 digga, and the left one is starting. These kind of double bass parts are always tough. Let's watch it again. The third round. Yeah, good. It's like chill. Not super powerful, but good enough. Yeah, the roll is good. Once again, the whole thing about the putting the kicks, leaving the beaters on the kicks. It seems like he's starting with the left. He's playing actually the pattern all the time with the left. Because it's digga 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 digga, and he's doing all the time with the left one. Why? Very good. Very good. And I have a question. The good stuff. Powerful and precise, okay. Not much to talk about, very short video. Let me ask you. No, it's not necessarily bad, but what's up with the left foot lead? Is there something behind it that I don't understand, or please let me know, because it doesn't seem to me like that's the practical thing to do if you're a right foot lead guy. But if it was just like a show off, then cool, very good, well done. Hopefully we can rewatch a fancier video in the future. I honestly, unfortunately, am not gonna be able to say a lot of good or bad stuff about this since it's a very short video clip. Nevertheless, thank you for the submission. I still, till this, I'm trying to think very hard what is the cleanest transition was supposed to mean in the title of this post. Please let me know. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue. This is entry number 9 from Mr. Laurent Masure. How do I pronounce that? No idea. This is Inward, Abyss of Psych. Drum playthrough. Captor triggers Chacha Copeta. Okay, once again, this is a 60 frame per second, or no, 50 frames per second, I'm sorry, Argentinian soap opera quality drum video. Okay, bad snare. kicks are cutting through. Opeto. The snare sounds nice. Wow, the hi-hat is super open. Seems a bit too gentle for this kind of music. Wow, the snare pops so nice when he hits so hard. Yes, this is... Try to hit the snare like this most of the time. A bit like too much of this, you know. That's why I always prefer to have skank beats and blast beats with an open-handed playing with the open-handed hi-hat. Wow, this is aggressive. The snare is okay. What about the kicks? The kick seems a bit Chrysian-ish, you know, like he does tigga digga 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 da when he's supposed to be tigga digga 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 da. Was that like fixed and edited but not played? The hi-hat, it's insane how open it is. It's like John Bonham height. Overall feels like he's a bit stiff sometimes when he plays, and when he hits the toms he's a little bit too soft. Ah, cool. I like the vocals. Reminds me a bit of Locracy, actually, where I play. There goes Future Breed Machine. Thank you very much for this submission. The good stuff, you know, I am gonna go ahead and compliment your sound, your mix. I think overall everything sounded very great. Like such a pleasant mix, such a high quality mix of drums sounded fantastic and everything was super cool. Very fancy filming, like shooting overall, like good camera work, good quality. All of that looked nice. Yeah, it was precise, you know, like what you played, everything was cool, but not sure how genuine it was, considering all the things that I pointed out. The bad stuff. Yes, that kick stuff that I mentioned, that's one thing. Second thing is like the overall stiffness. Feels like you could have hit harder most of the time where you were playing, so that's at least one thing. It seems like a slow song, I mean relatively slow, maybe even for your level, so I don't know. And especially the rolls, the tom rolls, they felt also like a little bit, I don't know, kind of scared, you know, like you were like, feels like I was, there was like a lot of good facial expression and energy from that point of view, but still it felt like you could have given more. That's the only thing. Yeah, regarding like the production was like top-notch audio and video. I don't think I would advise you to improve there too much, but maybe just the frame rate, like 50 frames per second is just something I'm not a big fan of, but other than that, it's cool. Thank you. And well done.
Well done.
Okay, guys, this is the final submission for today. And this is a new entry because we had one participant who dropped out. So this one is going to be submission number 10 from Mr. Wiktor Drummer, who is a very young fellow. Hello, my name is Victor. This video is my first video on YouTube, and this is Alt. Adam Björk, where are you? Oh, geez, this is a portrait video and a foot cam. Super dark. Left-handed. And Jonathan Davis in the back. Don't make eye contact. That's not professional. Before we continue, please let me know about the sound. It does seem like the sound is fake. That it's not recorded or it's coming from somewhere else because it sounds too good for a drum kit with no microphones. But I see mics there. What's going on? I see a mic here. Is this a mic that you used to record with or no? Please let me know what's going on. If you know Alt, you need to know Adam. try to be like Adam. He's one of the best playing this kind of stuff. What a beast drummer he is. You seemed a bit bored. Adam is never bored. Nice tentacle swinging arms. Overall, I wish there was a bit even more body movement. It's a bit too chill for this kind of slow stuff. This kind of slow stuff needs to be like Destruction 10 out of 10. What Adam does. And we once again are facing technical issues with my fucking phone that's been acting up and it died again. I cannot believe it. My phone has died again. But we're gonna finish this song. Oh wow, that was evil. I'm still here. My voice is still here. You know, guys, I'm not gonna even... Very good. We're gonna have the Otta King advertisement. And you're gonna just follow my voice, okay? So I'm gonna... Alright, thank you very much for your submission. The good stuff... Well, you are definitely young, you know, and for somebody attempting even this kind of crazy stuff is tough. Because it's a lot of like calculating and thinking and independence and subdivision and coordination and whatnot. So that is challenging for sure. So I'm gonna give you credit for attempting something so tough at such young age. Not bad, like, you know, arm swing and overall like movement, smoothness of your movement. That was cool. The bad stuff is, well... Okay, so the sound, I would like you to clarify how did you record it, and if it's all like programmed drums on top of a video, you know, it's good that we have the technology to do that, but it's still like, you know, people prefer to see the real thing. I prefer to see the real thing, so that's one thing. Secondly, yeah, of course, the production overall, like the, you know, the portrait version, the portrait format of the video is a good thing for Instagram and TikTok or stories. But when you're posting it on, or YouTube Shorts, but when you're posting a full 4-minute video on YouTube, which is like a landscape video usually format, and then it's a portrait with that side cam, I would not recommend you to do that, you know, so rather do fully sideways and then like make somehow a portrait version for something else, or I don't know. It's always tricky, you know, because trends are changing, like, and things are changing in pretty rapidly on social media, so... The other thing with the production is the lights, the cameras, you know, and the sound and overall, but other than that, yeah, cool. Keep up the good work, and I hope to see you improve and all those things in the near future. All right? Very good, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. I am still gone, but my voice is here, so batch number 28 is a wrap. Congratulations to everybody who participated, and I'm very thankful that you submitted your stuff. And here you're gonna see batch number 29, which is gonna be the next one. And I am once again reminding Mr. Toivo Ukkonen to contact me if you can, if you want to be still featured and rescheduled. I need your link as soon as you can. Send it to me, which should be a working one, okay? Other than that, once again, to everybody who is new to this series and would like to participate but hasn't submitted their video yet, please make sure that you watch the video on rules of submission in order for you to understand what's up before sending me your stuff to avoid any kind of chaos and confusion. Additionally, anybody and everybody else who feels generous enough to support me, you can always become my patron or member of my YouTube channel. You can see the links here, and also you will find them in the description. Any support will be always welcome and appreciated during these dark and uncertain times. I think this is it. I hope to see you guys soon, very soon, with the next video. So till then, take care, cheers, and I hope that my camera is gonna be fixed. My phone is gonna be fixed till now. Actually, I'm facing some very annoying issues with the battery. So till then, see you, take care, cheers, and stay healthy. Eugene out, bye-bye. Impressed by this precision? Me too. This is all achievable thanks to the Foot Blaster triggers. Make sure that you head to footblaster.com and use the code Eugene in order to get a discount for your next Foot Blaster trigger purchase. and he's putting those ghost notes in there. Fuck that, you know, like as if this song was not a pain in the ass already without them.